growth to the global economy. It is not an easy task. However, I hope that you will draw inspiration from the vibrancy of the Indian economy. Indian consumers and producers are optimistic and confident about the future. We hope that you will be able to transmit the same positive spirit to the global economy. I would urge that your discussions should focus on the most vulnerable citizens of the world. Only by creating an inclusive agenda will the global economic leadership win back the confidence of the world. The theme of our G20 presidency also promotes this inclusive vision. One Earth, one family, one future. Excellencies, even as the world population has crossed 8 billion, progress on sustainable development goals seems to be slowing down. We need to collectively work to strengthen multilateral development banks for meeting global challenges like climate change and high debt levels. Excellencies, in the world of finance, technology is increasingly dominant. During the pandemic, digital payments enable contactless and seamless transactions. However, some recent innovations in digital finance also pose risk of destabilization and misuse. I hope that you will explore how the power of technology can be used for good while developing standards to regulate its possible risks. India's own experience can be a model. Over the past few years, we have created a highly secure, highly trusted, and highly efficient public digital infrastructure. Our digital payments ecosystem has been developed as a free public good. This has radically transformed governance, financial inclusion, and ease of living in India. As you are meeting in Bangalore, the technology capital of India, you will have first-hand experience of how Indian consumers have embraced digital payments. In fact, during our G20 presidency, we have created a new system. This allows our G20 guests to use India's path-breaking digital payment platform, UPI. As you make use of it and experience its ease of use, you will understand why Indian consumers have adopted it so willingly. Examples like UPI can be templates for many other countries too. We would be happy to share our experience with the world. And the G20 can be a vehicle for this. Excellencies, I once again thank you all for your participation in this important meeting and wish you all the best for very productive and successful discussions. Thank you.
All right, so Prime Minister there addressing as the G20 finance ministers meeting begins. So the finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman there also speaking at the G20 finance minister and central governors meet, which is taking place as we speak. So Prime Minister giving his remarks saying that the most vulnerable citizens should be the focus as the G20 finance ministers meeting begins. All right, a quick look at news and brief from across the globe as the Russia-Ukraine war completes a year today. There are no signs of any side relenting. Moscow has mobilized some 5 lakh troops, more than twice the number of its forces it deployed to launch the invasion last February for a widely expected spring offensive. Meanwhile, India abstained in the United Nations General Assembly on a resolution that underscored the need to reach as soon as possible a comprehensive, just and lasting peace in Ukraine in line with the principles of the UN Charter. US joined other countries to voice support for the UN General Assembly on a day when diplomats passed a non-binding resolution that called for Russia to end hostilities and withdraw from its neighbor on the eve of the first anniversary of Moscow's invasion. Afghanistan's Taliban rulers reopened a key border crossing with Pakistan, allowing thousands of trucks carrying desperately needed food and other items to creep forward for the first time in days. Meanwhile, winter storms sowed more chaos across the US, shutting down almost all of Portland with almost a foot of snow and paralyzing travel for parts of the Pacific coast all the way to the northern plains. A man riding in a car with his cousin was shot and killed another passenger, then returned to the same neighborhood near Orlando hours later and shot 4 more people, killing a journalist covering the original shooting and a 9-year-old girl, as per the Florida police. Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden on Thursday said that Washington is nominating former MasterCard CEO Ajay Banga to lead the World Bank after its current chief announced plans to step down early. Crisis hit Sri Lanka has approved a $442 million wind power project for Adani Green Energy barely a month since the Indian multinational conglomerate's stocks plummeted following US-based short seller Hindenburg's report on the group. No country is going to come out of a difficult situation and become prosperous if its basic industry is terrorism, were the remarks that External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar made in a veiled attack on Pakistan. Meanwhile, Pakistan is struggling with its worst economic crisis in decades, with its foreign exchange reserves at their lowest in 10 years. A very short break. Coming up on the other side is hundreds wielding swords and weapons take to streets of Amritsar. The big question is, where is the Chief Minister of Punjab? After 22 hours of ruckus, sloganeering and assault, MCD House to resume today at 10 a.m.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 10 years, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
has been broken by the protesters, and in fact they have moved all kind of security layers and they are moving towards the police station. Entire situation is getting tense and the police is trying to control the situation as well. लाठी चार्ज हो चुका है यहाँ पे. यहाँ तस्वीर बहुत बदतर हो चुकी है. जो पत्थर है चलाने शुरू कर दिए और इन लोगों ने पुलिस स्टेशन के अंदर तक जो है वो धावा बोल दिया है, क्योंकि इनका कहना ये था कि जो अमृतपाल सिंह के खिलाफ एफआईआर दर्ज हुई है उसमें जो लोग गिरफ्तार हुए हैं उनको छुड़वाया जाए.
Soros, the allegedly evil Soros, has given a lot of money to a lot of people in the Indian news and especially the Indian digital news ecosystem. These people, who we will henceforth refer to as the hashtag Soros media, are therefore very rich media. The ironical part is that these completely blemished hashtag Soros media then asks the non-Soros media ethical questions. The Soros media asks the non-Soros media tell us who owns the news. Well, I tell them, Uncle Soros owns you. These unethical members of the Soros media have been completely lying and constantly lying and saying, oh, you got to pay to keep the news free. We are so poor, we have no money, the mainstream media has money, we are broke, help us, please give us 100 rupees. Why 100 rupees? Should even 1 rupee be given by you?
घुसने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. तस्वीरों में आप देख सकते हैं ये अमृतपाल के सारे सपोर्टर्स हैं, पुलिस स्टेशन के अंदर घुसने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. तस्वीरें देखिए, ये लाठीचार्ज हो चुका है यहाँ पे. तस्वीर बहुत बदतर हो चुकी है. कृष्णा, इन्होंने पत्थर चलाने शुरू कर दिए हैं. पुलिस स्टेशन अंदर घुस गए. ये लोग, they have captured the police station.
To make it safe.
Today the whole nation is looking at you, sir. Today the whole nation, you have surrounded a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm in your thoughts. What exactly are your thoughts, sir, and why people of India now should listen to you? Tell me one thing. They are very controversial.
I have a solution to this Union of India. I have a solution for everybody living in this country, living in this Union of India. I'll say, because everybody is suffering. Every state is suffering. They have linguistic issues. They have cultural issues. Everybody is facing conflicts. There are many separate movements going on currently in the country. So if they listen to me, they might get an answer. Live and let other people live.
Why must people listen to you, sir? And if you want to tell people of India what exactly your solution is, what is that?
I'm saying respect others' identities. Do not try to define or assimilate. अगर आप किसी को define करने की और assimilate
All right, we'll try and connect with Piyush Shori again, but Republic once again confronting the Khalistani supporter Amritpal Singh. This, of course, a day after we saw how Amritpal Singh, along with hundreds and thousands of his supporters, were on a complete rampage in Amritsar. The visuals there on your screens as well of what really unraveled yesterday afternoon when hundreds of his supporters stormed inside the police station in Amritsar. This is the Ajnala police station which Amritpal and his supporters stormed and were seen taking law in their hands.
जी सिंह का this
You're going to be telling your supporters that there is going to be less of violence today?
No, there shouldn't be any violence. Like, see, we called to go to police station to get myself arrested, and my supporters, they came along with me. They shouldn't have barricaded that area. They, what they did in Punjab, every area they sealed. My people were arrested, detained at homes, and they were like, pulled to the police stations. Our buses were like, captured. Cars were captured. And I don't even know how many people are still in custody today. So they shouldn't have done this in the first place. I've been requesting them, don't test my patience. Put out down because, this was a political motive to stop the Khalsa Vahir. I'm not going to enter in a political battle. I'm not going to go in the electoral process. So don't fear from me. I'm not going to take any space.
Thank you so much, sir.
We will talk to him to understand. Sir, what is the strategy for today?
All right, so there you heard Amritpal Singh, the Khalistani supporters who's present with hundreds of his supporters camping at that Gurudwara. Remember just yesterday, shocking scenes unfolded outside the police station in Amritsar where we saw how it was a complete collapse of law and order in the state of Punjab. Hundreds and thousands of Amritpal supporters who gathered in large numbers and stormed the police station. They took law and order in their hands. They were seen wielding swords and threatening openly. Not just this, they were even seen pelting stones at the police officials. Finally, after which we saw how the police officials had to give in to the demands that were being made by Khalistan supporter Amritpal Singh. Remember, one of the key demands that has been made by Amritpal Singh is the release of his aide and also cancellation of this FIR that has been registered against him. Piyush Shori, of course, continues to be with us, and we'll go across to Amandeep and Harsha as well. But just to take a quick word from Piyush Shori first. Piyush, we just heard that conversation you had where you tried to confront Amritpal Singh. What exactly did he have to say, and what are the plans of Amritpal Singh and his supporters today?
So yes, we did have an exclusive conversation with Amritpal Singh, the views of which seems to be very controversial, and we wanted to understand from him that what actually his views were. And his main objective and his main demand is that he wants the government of India to protect the identity of Sikhism. He feels that the government of India is not protecting the identity of Sikhism, following which, he is trying to provoke the government. He also again mentioned that yesterday's violence, though he felt bad about it, he did not regret about the incident, and he felt that this violence could have been avoided. He also mentioned that there are also other states where violence occurs, but Punjab was being pointed out because of vested interests of several parties. The main interest, however, was that he feels that because the identity of Sikhism culture is not being protected, that's why he's there, who's coming as a leader and trying to raise demands of it. My last question to him was also about what is his views about the politicization of Gurdwaras. So on that also he raised his views about it, and he also criticized Maan government. In a very tacit way, he has also raised ways about demanding for a separate state of Khalistan. But the most important part is that it is not only part of India which he is asking for Khalistan, but also part of Punjab in Pakistan. So this is also a very important thing which needs to be highlighted. Back to in the studio.
All right, Piyush, we'll leave it at that. So Piyush, they're getting us that confrontational sequence with Amritpal Singh. Remember, no word has come in yet from the Punjab Chief Minister, who remains silent even as law and order situation is in complete shambles in the state of Punjab. We'll slip into a very short break, but top stories to continue on the other side. With only 3 days left, camping in full swing in Meghalaya, Prime Minister's mega roadshow today.
We told you he's a threat to internal security.
Why to brandish weapon? Why it's the need of weapon when you are claiming that it's a peaceful procession which you will be carrying out?
No peace can be established without weapons. Why don't government send the state and everybody, army, they just dismiss all the armies, all the weapons, dispose everything, and then ask us why do we have weapons?
For 3 months, centre and state didn't act. Now Khalistani Amritpal is on a rampage. Anarchy in Punjab, story broken on Republic.
been broken by the protesters, and in fact they have moved all kind of security layers and they are moving towards the police station. Entire situation is getting tense and the police is trying to control the situation as well. लाठी चार्ज हो चुका है यहाँ पे. यहाँ तस्वीर बहुत बदतर हो चुकी है. जो पत्थर है चलाने शुरू कर दिए और इन लोगों ने पुलिस स्टेशन के अंदर तक जो है वो धावा बोल दिया है, क्योंकि इनका कहना ये था कि जो अमृतपाल सिंह के खिलाफ FIR दर्ज हुई है उसमें जो लोग गिरफ्तार हुए हैं उनको छुड़वाया जाए.
Soros, the allegedly evil Soros, has given a lot of money to a lot of people in the Indian news and especially the Indian digital news ecosystem. These people, who we will henceforth refer to as the hashtag Soros media, are therefore very rich media. The ironical part is that these completely blemished hashtag Soros media then asks the non-Soros media ethical questions. The Soros media asks the non-Soros media, non-Soros media tell us who owns the news. Well, I tell them, Uncle Soros owns you. These unethical members of the Soros media have been completely lying and constantly lying and saying, oh, you got to pay to keep the news free. We are so poor, we have no money, the mainstream media has money, we are broke, help us, please give us 100 rupees. Why 100 rupees? Should even 1 rupee be given by you?
Quick look at news in brief. After a marathon 22-hour meeting of the Municipal Corporation of Delhi House, which saw 13 adjournments and scuffles between AAP and the BJP councillors, which was adjourned by Mayor Shelley Oberoi at 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, fresh voting for the standing committee members would begin at 10 a.m. State of Punjab witnessed a complete collapse of law and order while getting the state government on its knees before one man, that is Amritpal Singh and his associate, within a few hours. The mob led by Amritpal Singh outnumbered heavily deployed police in Punjab's Ajnala by attacking them with swords, lathis and even pelting stones at the police officials. In a final push by the BJP to leave its mark in Meghalaya, Prime Minister Modi will participate in a roadshow and even address an election rally in Western Meghalaya today in support of BJP candidates. Slipping into a very short break, but on the other side, we'll continue with the live coverage and we'll get you the latest from Punjab as security has been beefed up after Amritpal and his supporters were seen on a rampage in Ajnala.
महिला मेयर है उसके ऊपर हमला कर रहे हैं, लोगों के ऊपर हमला कर रहे हैं, पूरे सदन को तमाशा बना रखा है। ये तीनों चुनाव आज सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के आदेश पे हो रहे हैं। ये चुनाव भी नहीं होने देना चाहते, तो ना लोकतंत्र मानते हैं, ना संविधान मानते हैं, ना सुप्रीम कोर्ट मानते हैं।
आपको रिइलेक्शन कराना पड़ेगा क्योंकि आपको समय पता है कि आप इलेक्शन हार रहे हो, इसलिए आप अवॉइड कर रहे हो।
घुसने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। तस्वीरों में आप देख सकते हैं ये अमृतपाल के सारे सपोर्टर्स हैं, पुलिस स्टेशन के अंदर घुसने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। तस्वीरें देखिए, ये लाठीचार्ज हो चुका है यहाँ पे तस्वीर बहुत बदतर हो चुकी है। कृष्णा, इन्होंने पत्थर चलाने शुरू कर दिए हैं, पुलिस स्टेशन के अंदर घुस गए ये लोग। They have captured the police station.
He told you he's a threat to internal security.
Why to brandish weapon? Why it's the need of weapon when you are claiming that it's a peaceful procession which you will be carrying out?
No peace can be established without weapons. Why don't government send the state and everybody, army, they just dismiss all the armies, all the weapons, dispose everything and then ask us why do we have weapons?
For 3 months, center and state didn't act. Now Khalistani Amritpal is on a rampage. Anarchy in Punjab story broken on Republic.
Has been broken by the protesters, and in fact they have moved all kind of security layers and they are moving towards the police station. Entire situation is getting tense and the police is trying to control the situation as well. लाठी चार्ज हो चुका है यहाँ पे। यहाँ तस्वीर बहुत बदतर हो चुकी है, जो पत्थर है चलाने शुरू कर दिए और इन लोगों ने पुलिस स्टेशन के अंदर तक जो है वो धावा बोल दिया है, क्योंकि इनका कहना ये था कि जो अमृतपाल सिंह के खिलाफ FIR दर्ज हुई है उसमें जो लोग
Soros, the allegedly evil Soros, has given a lot of money to a lot of people in the Indian news and especially the Indian digital news ecosystem. These people, who we will henceforth refer to as the hashtag Soros media, are therefore very rich media. The ironical part is that these completely blemished hashtag Soros media then asks the non-Soros media ethical questions. The Soros media asks the non-Soros media, non-Soros media tell us who owns the news. Well, I tell them, Uncle Soros owns you. These unethical members of the Soros media have been completely lying and constantly lying and saying, oh, you got to pay to keep the news free. We are so poor, we have no money, the mainstream media has money, we are broke, help us, please give us 100 rupees. Why 100 rupees? Should even 1 rupee be given by you?
महिला मेयर है, उसके ऊपर हमला कर रहे हैं, लोगों के ऊपर हमला कर रहे हैं, पूरे सदन को तमाशा बना रखा है। ये तीनों चुनाव आज सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के आदेश पे हो रहे हैं। ये चुनाव भी नहीं होने देना चाहते तो ना लोकतंत्र।
Complete chaos of law and order in Punjab. Punjab police gives in Amritpal aid is to be released. As hundreds wielding swords and weapons take to the streets of Amritsar, the big question now is, where is Bhagwant Mann? After 22 hours of ruckus, sloganeering and assault, the MCD house will be resuming today at 10 o'clock. With only 3 days left, campaigning in full swing in Meghalaya, the Prime Minister's mega road show today. And Russian forces ramp up their attack as Ukraine's war enters its second year now. morning. You're watching live and breaking on Republic TV. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. Now straight off to what's happening in New Delhi, where after hours of being adjourned, we are now told that the MCD House will be reconvening any moment now. Do remember that there has been a lot of ruckus and sloganeering in the Delhi MCD House yesterday as well. It was, of course, adjourned yesterday after nearly 22 hours of being in session. Now, the House was adjourned by the newly elected Mayor Shelley Oberoi after being resumed twice in the morning. The AAP and BJP are expected to continue to be at loggerheads over different stances on the standing committee polls. Reporting on this right now is Piyush Mishra, joining us, Anuj as well, and Madhurima as well. Piyush, first to you. I think you're at the MCD House right now. Has it resumed? And give us an overall sense really of what we're expecting.
Well, Nupur, remember that the House ran for 22 hours amid the adjournments and the kind of ruckus we saw today in the morning. We saw as to how one of the councillors of Aam Aadmi Party has now joined BJP. Today we can expect once again what happened yesterday to repeat today also in the House. Joining me right now is BJP's spokesperson and top leader Harish Khurana. Sir, what are you expecting today? Can we see elections at least to take place as far as standing committee members are concerned?
BJP wants a free and a fair elections in the House today. What has happened on day before yesterday was total bizarre, and I'm sad for that. But unfortunately, Aam Aadmi Party presiding officer, who is now the mayor of Delhi, is not letting the fair and election to happen. There are two reasons behind it. The basic fundamental of this election is to maintain a secrecy of the ballot. She is allowed to take the mobile inside while casting their votes, and the Aam Aadmi Party councillors were clicking the picture while they were casting their vote. They were clicking the pictures and sending to their high command. So where is the secrecy left? When BJP raised this question, because at the time of mayor and deputy mayor, mobile was not allowed, even pen was not allowed. So why at the time of sending committee she allowed that? And when BJP opposes that, after 53 votes, she disallowed the mobile phones. BJP is demanding that those 53 votes who have casted their votes, showing their pictures to the high command, those votes should be null and void, and re-election should be done from the vote number 1. Second thing, municipal secretary has wrote a letter to the mayor at 9:50 p.m. on that particular day, where he clearly said the total of 55 ballot papers were issued, and we are not aware that how many councillors have cast their vote and dropped the ballot papers in the ballot boxes. So that during the entire melee, the ballot boxes had to be removed as safety, and the members who could not vote.
We are showing this very important letter. This has been written by the secretary to mayor.
To the mayor at that point of time, that some of the ballot papers have not been put inside the ballot boxes. 10 of the ballot papers is outside right now, which has been issued. So free and fair election is on the stake right now.
But the mayor is now alleging your councillors. Mayor is saying that Rekha Gupta, pushed off the podium of the stage. Also, she's saying that Amit Nagpal, one of her councillors, tore all the ballot box. How are you going to justify that? Is violence? Can violence be justified?
We have shown a video also yesterday, also when Devendra Kumar, one of the MLA from Khichripur, has slapped our councillors.
What actions are you seeking for?
See, we want a proper inquiry should be done, but the point is, if you're not letting the free and fair elections should happen, how will the House will run? The onus of running of the House today is on the presiding officer, and we want a election from the election ballot number 1, so that.
And if it is not allowed,
we want that. We want clear.
It is not allowed
to be clear. See, because basic fundamental of this election is secrecy.
If it is not allowed, will House function? Will House run?
No, this will be totally dependent on the presiding officer.
That's the direct word coming in from BJP right now, Nupur, where they are now making it very clear that if they are not allowed, in fact, if the fresh voting since from beginning is not allowed, then they are certainly going to raise their demand. Remember that they have been protesting and saying that because the phones were allowed during the elections of standing committee members, the secrecy has been violated, and it is very important to allow for the fresh elections. On the other side, Aam Aadmi Party is not of the view. Remember that massive ruckus had taken place in the House. day before yesterday. Throughout the night, late last night also we saw how ruckus took place, and then today also we can expect the similar scenes here inside the house when the elections take place. Let me also tell you that mayors are allowed, only mayors are allowed inside the house. Their their cards are being checked, their passes are being checked, and then only they are being allowed. No other worker or leader from any political party is now being allowed inside the MCD house. Nupur.
All right, Piyush, do stay with us. Anuj and Madhurima, both of you also do stay with us. We're quickly going to play out an interview that we earlier had with an AAP leader.
फाइनली कंक्लूजन कुछ नहीं निकला, लगातार डिमांड वही है। वो कहते हैं कि जीरो से कराइए, आप कहते हैं कि कोई रूल नहीं है।
देखिए, हम तो चाहते हैं कि चुनाव हो। दिल्ली की जनता ने आम आदमी पार्टी को जनादेश दिया है। 15 साल से भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने एमसीडी में सरकार चलाई और अब दिल्ली की जनता ने उन्हें निकाल के बाहर फेंक दिया है। ये कैसी गुंडागर्दी है कि अगर आप चुनाव हार गए, आप दूसरी पार्टी की सरकार ही नहीं बनने देंगे। हम तो हर तरीके से कोऑपरेट करने को तैयार हैं, पर हम ये कैसे मान लें? पिछली बार उन्होंने 150 वोट के बाद कह दिया कि भाई अब वोट 1 से डलनी चाहिए। आज मान लीजिए 100 वोट के बाद कह दें, फिर वो बैलेट बॉक्स चोरी करके ले जाएं, फिर बैलेट बॉक्स के अंदर पानी डाल दें। तो ये तो ब्लैकमेल है। इस प्रकार से तो आप किसी भी समय चुनाव होने ही नहीं देंगे। आप किसी भी समय कह सकते हैं कि जी अब चुनाव रोको, अब चुनाव फिर से शुरू करो।
क्रॉस वोटिंग का डर सता रहा है, ऐसा कहती है भारतीय जनता पार्टी और उनके काउंसिल।
वो मेयर का चुनाव हार गए, वो डिप्टी मेयर का चुनाव हार गए। उनकी मेयर प्रत्याशी गुस्से में माइक फोड़ रही है, पोडियम फोड़ रहे हैं। पूरे देश ने देखा है। कौन डर रहा है? जो चुनाव चाहता है वो डर रहा है, या जो चुनाव रोक रहा है वो डर रहा है?
मैम, एक आखिरी सवाल है, सोल्यूशन तो क्योंकि कल पूरी रात देखा, सुबह भी 13 बार जैसे अभी मैंने कहा कि अर्जेंट हुआ, उससे पहले भी लगातार देख रहे हैं कि नहीं चल पा रहा है, प्रोसेस नहीं हो रहा, क्योंकि दोनों ही पार्टियां अटल हैं कि हम नहीं मानेंगे। उसका सोल्यूशन क्या निकलेगा?
देखिए, फाइनली तो कानून ये कहता है, एमसीडी का कानून ये कहता है कि जो प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर होंगे उनका डिसीजन फाइनल होगा। तो हम देश को तो कानून और संविधान से ही चलाएंगे। तो हम भारतीय जनता पार्टी से आग्रह करेंगे कि जो प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर का, मेयर का डिसीजन है, उस डिसीजन का पालन किया जाए और जो प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर डिसीजन ले उसके अनुसार चुनाव होने दें। थैंक यू।
All right, let's also get in a word from Anuj. Now, Anuj, you're inside the MCD house and we are told that, the mayor has arrived there already. And we've heard both sides' leaders. They seem to suggest that, they're not going to go down on their own side of the story. So, what is the sense that you are getting now? At the end, of course, it's going to be the mayor, it's going to be the presiding officer, perhaps, who will take the final call, isn't it?
Well, that's something what has been stated categorically by the Aam Aadmi Party leader, that's Atishi, when we were talking to her. She also mentioned the same, that this is going to be for the mayor to decide that what exactly is going to happen. But on the other hand, we will have to understand, we have seen the ruckus whole night, and it was for the 13th time when house got adjourned. And today, let me first give you the sense also what is happening at this point in time. The movement could be seen, and as you can see, the marshals has been deployed. Extra deployment of the security could be seen in the house. The mayor is going to come anytime from now because she's in the chamber, she's in her cabin at this point in time, what we have been told. But the solution is not coming out yet.
Right.
That's something what we are seeing. The ruckus is expected because BJP is adamant on their demand, whereas Aam Aadmi Party also stand with the same. Right. They are saying that they are going to continue for the voting. So
Anuj, as you're pointing out, it does appear that both sides very firm on their demands. Let's quickly get in a word from Madhurima also. Madhurima, even as both parties stay firm, are we perhaps likely to see more adjournments today?
Well, Nupur, that's highly likely because the way the decorum has been ditched multiple time and again.